So, have you ever tried to figure out what Bitcoin really is? Past all the crazy headlines and confusing tech speak. Well, forget all that. Today, we're going to break it down with a super simple story. And it all starts with a problem I think we've all faced, a closed door.
Right? This pretty much says it all. Our whole story kicks off with this exact moment of frustration. Imagine you need to do something important. You need to send a payment, in this case seashells, and you're just told, nope, come back later. It's that feeling of hitting a brick wall with the old way of doing things that really sets the stage for something totally new.
Okay, so who's this guy trying to send seashells anyway? Let's dive in and meet our main character, Croc, and really get into the problem he's up against.
So this is Croc, and he's got to send some seashells, that's his money, to place an order that just can't wait. But when he gets to the bank, the doors are locked. It's the weekend, they're closed, and his urgent order is now stuck in limbo until Monday morning. Croc can't wait that long. Sound familiar to anyone?
So Croc is totally frustrated. He goes to see his friend Luke, and Luke tells him about this pretty radical idea, a completely new kind of digital money that doesn't care about banks or weekends or holidays.
Luke calls it Bitcoin. And he explains that, look, it's digital money, but it doesn't live in some dusty bank vault. Instead, it exists on this huge public system called the blockchain. You can think of it like a giant digital record book that's shared and copied across thousands of computers all over the world. There's no boss, and there are definitely no office hours.
And when you put the two systems side by side, the difference is just night and day. A normal bank, it's got a boss, it closes for holidays, you might need permission to move your own money, and it's only open 9 to 5. Bitcoin, it has none of that. It's a network that's just always on, 24/7, 365. No one single person is in charge.
Okay, so Croc's mind is kind of blown, but he's also confused. I mean, if there's no bank and no one's in charge, how does sending money even work? Who's making sure his seashells actually get where they're supposed to go?
So Luke breaks it down into 3 simple steps. First, you send Bitcoin from your unique address, which is kind of like your own personal bank account number. Second, it goes straight to the other person's address. No middleman, no bank, just peer-to-peer. And third, this is the cool part, a global network of really powerful computers, they're called miners, all race to solve this super complex math puzzle. The first one to solve it gets to confirm the transaction, add it to the public ledger, and as a reward for their work, they get some brand new Bitcoin.
Now, this is a really important detail. Anyone, and I mean anyone, can look at the blockchain and see that a transaction happened between 2 addresses. That part is totally public, totally transparent. But here's the thing. Nobody knows who actually owns those addresses. Your real name, your real identity, that stays private.
At this point, Croc is getting really excited. I mean, this sounds perfect. But Luke kind of holds up his hand and says, whoa, hold on. Before you dive in, there are some very, very important rules you absolutely have to understand. No exceptions.
Okay, rule number 1, scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. Ever. That's the hard limit, baked right into the code. The supply is fixed, and the rate that new coins are created actually slows down over time. This was done on purpose, to make it more like digital gold, not like regular money that governments can just print more of whenever they want.
All right, rule number 2, how you keep it safe. Your Bitcoin is held in what's called a digital wallet. And the one and only way to get into that wallet and spend your Bitcoin is with a super secret password called a private key. And trust me, this is not like your email password. It is so much more important.
And this, right here, is probably the most critical thing to understand. That private key, which is usually a random list of 12 to 24 words, isn't just a password to your money. In the world of Bitcoin, those words are the money. If you lose those words, your Bitcoin is gone, forever. And if somebody else gets their hands on them, they can take every last bit of it.
So naturally, this makes Croc think of a really good question, one that every single person new to this asks. What happens if you mess up? What if you have a typo in the address and you accidentally send your money to a total stranger? The answer is, well, it's pretty harsh. There is no way back. There's no customer service to call. There's no bank that can reverse the charge. Once a transaction is sent and confirmed on the blockchain, it's final. With Bitcoin, you are your own bank. And that's amazing. It gives you total control, but it also means you have total responsibility.
Okay, so Crook gets it now. He sees the incredible power, but he also understands the very real risks. So let's just lay it all out there on the table. Like any powerful technology, Bitcoin has some clear pros and cons.
Let's look at the trade-offs, right? On the plus side, it's powerful stuff. You can send money anywhere in the world, any time of day, without asking anyone for permission. And you alone control your money. But the downsides are just as real. The price can be incredibly volatile, swinging up and down like crazy. It's often influenced by news and hype, and because it's still kind of like the Wild West, you have to be super careful about scams.
So, after hearing the whole story, the freedom, the responsibility, the good, the bad, Kroc finally has all the pieces of the puzzle. He's got what he needs to make a decision.
He thought about the bank's locked doors. He thought about his urgent order just sitting there. He understood that he had to protect those secret words and double-check every address. And after thinking it all through, he decided that for his problem right now, the benefits were worth the risks. It was time to give it a try.
So, with this newfound confidence, Kroc makes his decision. He's going to use Bitcoin to send his seashells and finally get that urgent order he's been waiting for. The problem that kicked this whole thing off is about to be solved.
So what was it? What was this super urgent, couldn't wait till Monday order that Kroc absolutely had to place? Turns out, it was a tray of Kubadeh kebab with fish. Well, thanks for joining us for this explainer, and we'll catch you on the next one.